Now, look where I am. That's the biggest problem. You're having 9 human beings over there. They're not 9 computers, and they are not experts on security, and they are not experts on foreign relations, but they do know that the president and Congress sometimes go too far. So they write that. Well, we're now in a world where, in fact, security problems are international, and they come up in all kinds of different forms. And we're also in a world where not everyone, not every country has the same system for dealing with it. And maybe we can learn something. I mean, Japan has decided, I'm not saying we should do this, but Japan has decided to put a foreign policy expert on its Supreme Court, someone who is the legal advisor in their equivalent of the State Department. England decided, and then it was struck down, but they decided in similar situations that they wouldn't give certain people suspected of terrorism a lawyer. No, they'd give them a lawyer, but they wouldn't let the lawyer talk to the client. You say, well, why not? Obviously they should. Oh, really? They thought any conversation between the lawyer and that client might lead to somebody saying, well, tell my mother I'm fine, and that means blow up the Piccadilly Circus or something. And if you think that's just a made-up problem, put yourselves in the shoes of the Israeli Supreme Court, where they really have problems like that, and where they've tried to develop a system where if you can show to the judge ex parte that communication is not desirable, and the judge believes it, you can hold him for a while, ex parte without communication, but then you have to come back 2 days later and explain why it's still necessary. And you keep having to come back, and each time it's harder for the government to show it. So there are many systems in the world, there are many problems, and we have a problem. What is the content of blank check? No blank check. Don't go too far. And I call that first problem, and that's just the first one. And as you can see, it comes up quite a lot. I call that the problem of how do you give to these people who are not experts the necessary foreign intelligence, domestic security, whatever it is, information so they can make sense out of this decision.